Why? Islamic Dummies 101. Well, the simple reason is when Muslims comment on your video content that they are absolutely clueless and unable to deal with the content of what you're talking about, and either go into a total diversion tactic into another topic which they can answer, or they simply lie about their faith. Hi, I'm Raymond Douglas, and welcome to my man cave. The Inside Out perspective takes a look at life's challenges and its effects and asks one simple question: what race are you running? Welcome to another episode of the Inside Out perspective, and today I want to have a look at some of the comments which I've received from my previous last couple of videos, specifically where I've had a look at Islamic violent content and how that is playing out in the world today. And the general feeling or the general comments I'm getting back is either I am Islamic hater, a bigot, and giving false propaganda out, or that I'm misunderstanding the Quran because Islam is a religion of peace. And this is quite crazy as far as I'm concerned, because it highlights the dilemma which Muslims are facing, that they get to the red line which Yashul Qari was talking about, and they fail to be able to break through that and address the questions which we're actually asking. And the question I'm asking, or was asking in my last video, is how can Islam be a religion of peace if the global command by Allah and Muhammad in Surah 9 is to go and kill all non-believers until world domination and there is one religion, Islam? The one comment I got reads as follows: you are spreading inter-Islamic propaganda. You spend your energy creating videos to spread fear and hatred for Islam. Is this what Jesus meant by love your enemies? I just got to laugh at that, because this is clearly a misunderstanding again of what Jesus is actually saying by love your enemies. And yes, we are called to love our enemies. But Jesus also told us, or told Peter, when he cut off the centurion's ear, that if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword. So how come do these kind of comments not look at the overall content and the proper teaching of what their prophet Isa is trying to tell them? Yet they default and they say, sorry, you are being wrong because you're not loving your enemies. And my question here is, wherever in the biblical narrative did Jesus, Yahweh, or any of the prophets tell us to love Satan? Because you see, Islam is a satanic ideology. And its satanic ideology is forced on Muslims through fear of death. And we see that if a Muslim leaves their faith, what are they told to do? They are told to kill them, destroy them, abandon them, kick them out of their homes. And this is what happens when you have a Muslim leaving their faith and becoming a Christian. Muslims out there cannot deal with these issues. Why is Allah and Muhammad instructing them to kill anyone who does not follow their faith? And remember what John tells us in John 8:44. Let me just read it for you quickly. For you are the children of your father the devil, and you love to do evil things he does. He was a murderer from the beginning. He has always hated the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he lies, it is consistent with his character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Notice this, he was a murderer from the beginning. And what does Islam call Muslims to do? They call Muslims to kill all non-believers. Isn't that straight on the devil? What does Islam call Muslims to do? Kill all of those who leave the Islamic faith. Is that not a mirror image of what John is telling us here? And that is again supported by Peter. And we read in 1 Peter 5:8-11 the following: stay alert and watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Stand firm against him and be strong in your faith. Remember that your family of believers all over the world is going through the same kind of suffering you are. And isn't that exactly what my last video pointed out? With that bishop who standing in front of his home was absconded by a group of Muslims claiming Allah Akbar, and if you do not renounce your faith as Christianity, we're going to kill him. And what did they do? They shot him in the face. And miraculously, Jesus Christ healed that man. It took him 6 days before he had his operation. But Jesus Christ stood by the faithful, resurrected that man so he can preach the gospel. Preach the gospel of love and not hatred and murder. And look at the lie which comes in with other Muslims, where they go, sorry, you've got it wrong, you've got it out of context. Because Surah 60 verse 8 tells us that we are a religion of peace. Surah 256 tells Muslims there is no compulsion in religion. But look at the lie here. The lie is that they're telling you only half the story, because the other half of the story is the verses of abrogation. And the verses of abrogation are noted in Surah 1339 and Surah 16:110. And that is anything that is revealed afterwards or contradicts a previous revelation stands firm. And we know that Surah 9 is the last revelation of Muhammad and his marching orders to go and kill everyone until there's only one faith. And that faith must be Islam. Everyone must be submitted to Allah. And when we have a look at Surah 60 verse 8, for example, because I know the Muslims out there are going to say, oh, you're taking it out of context. But let's have a look at it in the true context. And let's go back a few verses and read Surah 60 verse 2. And this is what it says. If they gain dominance over you, that's the Christians and the Jews, they would be to you as your enemies and extend against you their hands and their tongues with evil. And they wish you would disbelieve. Notice here that in context of the peaceful verse of 60 verse 8, previously it's saying be careful because Christians and Jews are your enemies. We, as the Christians, are not claiming Muslims are our enemies. Here, Allah and Muhammad instructs them that they are your enemies because they're going to reach out your hand and their tongue. Notice the word tongue. Let me read that again for you. They would be to you as your enemies and extend against you their hands and their tongues with evil. Meaning, any criticism against Islam or the lifestyle of Prophet Muhammad is seen as a threat of war. Let me say that again. Islamically speaking, anyone who criticizes, in other words, uses their tongue to criticize Muhammad or Islam is a threat of war. And the default is, you're Islamicphobic, you're a bigot, you hate speech, or this comment which was given, I call on everyone in the group to report his YouTube channel for hate speech. I mean, really? Because Muslims are unable to answer the problems and the dilemmas in their faith, what do? They want to just stamp you out. Just kill you. Kill your voice. Kill your right of objection. Kill your right of criticism. So I leave you once again with a final question. Which race are you running?